Check, check. Welcome in, guys. Glad to have you in here. Thanks for being on time. If you have 1 or 2 more minutes, we'll dive right in. Put your requests in the chat if you want me to go over something. Let me know if you're in it or just want me to look at it, give you some perspective. That way I can kind of tell you where to get in, where to get out, stuff like that. And then we'll go on to, we'll start spying QQ as usual, but yeah, we'll see how many people roll in tonight. Hey Wiz, I see you want sprouts. Let me, what's the abbreviation ticker for? I've never looked that one up. Put it in the chat, please, so I can find it for you. Thank you. Yep, I'll try out some levels of SPX as well for you. All right, one more premium ping and we'll dive in, guys. All right, y'all, welcome in. Got all the regulars in here. Got a couple new faces I see. My name's StartedWith, one of the staff members here. So glad to have you guys in here, new and old members. Glad you guys are putting in the time on the weekends. I know it's tough sometimes, especially on a Sunday. Could be doing a lot of other things, but you're here, so we appreciate that. So again, you guys put your requests in the chat. I'm going to start out like I do every week, spying QQQ, just to give us a game plan, where I think we might be heading, where we can, buy the dip potentially. Lots of news this week. FOMC meeting, I think, is on Tuesday or Wednesday. Someone can look that up if they got time to. It's the Fed rate decision. Let me look here. Give me 1 second. All right, so as of now, this is what they're pricing in for on what's today? The 4th. So would that be on Tuesday, Wednesday? 98% chance right here that they're going to hold. So 3% chance they're going to cut. So the thing to do for the Fed rate decision, or excuse me, the meeting that they're having, the presser, just listen to Jerome Powell's comments. Any talk or stuff about, keywords uncertainty or, stuff like that. That's where possibly could get bull or bearish on the day. On Wednesday, we'll just have to kind of see how it shakes out. But again, play the chart in front of you, but listen to what Jerome Powell's saying. If his comments are neutral or very bullish, ride that wave. Don't try and short it with puts. If he says something that spooks the markets, chances are a bunch of volume is going to pull in or flow in. And so don't fight it with calls. If you try and buy the dip somewhere, it's really got to make sense. And ultimately just listen to what he's saying on that name, or excuse me, on those comments for sure. So all right, guys, I'm on the 4-hour chart here. Spying QQQ again. We'll start with that, and we'll touch on SPX as well since that was requested. Kind of when we talked last week, we're kind of talking about this upper range here that we cleared here. This area of interest is what I was really watching early to start the week, and you can see how we pushed up, kind of rejected, kind of battled it, and ultimately broke out. And again, like I always say, when the breakouts or breakdowns happen, once we break a huge resistance, that's when sellers give up and you get that big explosive move up. Okay. Same thing when buyers are filling and they trigger a sell. The sells are very quick. Lots of volume pours in. And so for me, this is kind of what I'm watching, you guys, just for some visual cues, I guess. Red is resistance. That's just how I chart. That's how I remember things. Green is our support. And again, last week we pushed up to that early. This would have been a red zone because it was resistance, and now it is green because it is our support. We're not over it. And so this is kind of what I'm watching. Worst case scenario on the downside this week, for me, this 564, this thick tan line kind of in the middle of your screens, I want to see that hold this week. So if we dip, whether it's news or just, markets taking a little bit of a breather, I want to see this green zone hold. And does it make sense? Because this is all this middle to late March trading range that we're in right here, and then to early April. So I want to see, does that hold if we get a dip into that? Say we get some bounces into it and we start pushing up to this upper range here, this 570 to 571 pocket. Okay, why is that important? Again, zoom left. We see that big push there on April 2nd, big sell down, push up into it. March 27th, sell down. Again, March 20th, sell down. We got over at this day, but ultimately sold down hard, and it was forming resistance all the way up. So as we trickle into that, that's why I always say, and I kind of hint on trade floor is, ride the wave, ride the momentum. But again, don't be late chasing calls here. Flips, alerts, puts here this 567, and he's like trim, 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 and he's like one runner. I'm almost out. Don't come into the chat and read that because you're at a work meeting, and we're up here at 570, and now you take your first entry position on calls, and we sell down, and you get wrecked. So always know we're out on larger time frame, guys, and then when you build your plan, that's when you move into smaller time frames and you trade off of at the 5, 15, the 30, stuff like that. And so anybody have any questions on SPY? Again, I'll circle back around at the end of class. I just want to make sure kind of people get their bearing straight where I'm looking this week. Again, 564, we'll see where this candle holds pre-market tomorrow. We might be opening right there as well. Luis, yeah, QQQ is next for sure, brother. But let's see if this holds this week. Again, any sells under, so we kind of trickle in here and we sell under and breakouts are failing. This is now not a support zone to me. This is now a resistance zone. If we get under here, I'm bearish on the day for these possible targets and a trend line test down here. But if this holds, I'm looking to play all bounces to be bullish on the day. Again, doesn't mean I'm bullish on the week or the rest of the month. It means just this day, I'm liking what I'm seeing on a retest of a support and it's holding. Wiz, this, I draw my levels on the 4-hour because it gets me just the big picture. I usually draw on the 1 hour, but I wanted to start out with the 4-hour because charts gets a little bit kind of sort of compressed here. If I go the 1 hour, I got to zoom way out and back, and then the candles are kind of hard to read. So this is the 1 hour. It still shows us what we want. But if I start out a class like this, it's kind of hard for you guys. I know you guys a lot of your, like I said, you're on your phones, your iPads, whatever. And it's hard to see what the hell's happening over here and over here. It doesn't make sense. And so just kind of do the 4 hour to start out, get us kind of a game plan where we're at, where I think we're going. And then we can zoom in again, like I said, on some levels there. All right, guys, QQQ is a little bit easier. One thing I didn't touch on is this this yellow dashed line that's just creeping, hang out overhead, this nice flat line. That is our daily 200 moving average, daily 200 MA, as we call it. And so that is going to be a form of heavy resistance if and when we touch that this week or whenever we get to it. That's going to be some smackdown resistance as well. Don't believe me? Let's look at QQQ. Where do we reject on QQQ? Surprise, surprise, the daily 200, perfect, almost to the penny. Okay, so we can see here, pushed up, kind of a double whammy for late buyers. Daily 200 and this old zone here, basically 491. So again, same thesis, you didn't catch calls down here, down here, down here. You see this move up, and now you take calls here at the day, and you take calls of this huge resistance. And it sold, if I go the 1 hour or a 30-minute, it sold down where it should, where I would expect. So again, breakout, retest, get your calls. Push, trim, trim, sell all. Do not buy calls up here at resistance. Okay, so again, QQQ is a little bit easier chart because it already hit an upper range that I was watching. But going back to the 4 hour, for me, similar to what I expect on a lower range or what I want to see hold, is for me this 480-86 zone to 481 little pocket here. I've talked about it several times in the chat and then in my tab. I want to see that hold. If we do back test, if we get a little bit of weakness, be bearish on the day, that's fine. This sells through, be bearish on the day. But for me, I'm not holding or taking puts here. Maybe if I was in several and I have a true runner, maybe see if we sell through that. You can see I already have an alert ready to see if we sell through that or get to that this week. But for me, this is my preference on let the sellers take their turn, let the sellers take their turn all the way down, and then sell them, and then look for this to hold here. And we see a bounce reaction when it holds and it bounces. And so that's where I'd be looking for some calls. But again, if we slice this with butter, or we trickle in here come Wednesday, Jerome Powell's on the mic, and he gets really bearish just with what he's talking about, his comments. We slice through that. Yeah, take our puts, with confidence, because we know that that is a big support that just gave way. So again, you guys screenshot these, write these down, whatever you want to do. This week, I really want to see that 40-41 zone hold. My upper range kind of danger zone for calls again is 491, 491, because that's where this resistance and 200 daily is up here. And this purple stair-stepped line is our daily 9. So again, like I always say, we kind of get overextended, maybe not overextended, but pushed pretty far from it. It trickle back down into it and let this moving average catch up. And we kind of see that price action. That's perfectly normal. So don't freak out. Everyone says the trade for why are we selling? Why are we selling? Well, we had a pretty big ass day on Friday, as we did on Wednesday as well. So we see retrace back to support is very healthy and expected. We're not just going to go up and up and up with no retest. Any questions on QQQ, you guys? Does that make sense to everybody? Again, break this 481, 478.84, 476. We break this lower range here. And it's short-term trouble for the buyers for sure, because we're back under this kind of 3-4 day consolidation zone down here. All right. Request list, doing it in order as I see them. PLTR. Everybody wants to be bullish on this one. Haven't traded this one in a while. I got an alert up here for some reason. Let's see why there's an alert up there at 125. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a mistake. Maybe there's some thesis. Oh yeah, double top. Duh. So that's a double top, which is, I think, is this an all-time high? I think so. If not, someone let me know. Yeah, that's an all-time high. All right. Easy game plan on PLTR for you guys that want it. If you're not in and you want to be bullish, you miss most of the move, if I'm being honest. If you're not buying a back test of these levels here, breakout, retest, push up, breakdown, retest this level here, retest, reclaim support, back test here. Again, this is pre-market, can't really help that, but this is a double top and an all-time high. So if you're looking to get long, start a long position here, you're late, my friends. Again, I could be wrong, we break higher, but my thought is tomorrow, if we push this, what I think is going to happen is, oh shit, they got earnings tomorrow after hours. Well, maybe I'm really wrong. Maybe we blast that. But again, market hours, no earnings, set that aside. We push up. What I'm thinking is a quick sweep up and a quick smack down here. A lot of sell orders, parked here, because people bought that dip. Where do you think your sell order is if you're up, 10, 20, 30, 40% on your shares? Double top all-time high absolutely is and should be, a target for you to sell. You buy into support on big levels. You don't start a share position at all-time highs, because you're the highest bidder. You win the award for buying at the top as of now. And so something to keep an eye on for PLTR, you guys. Again, it could blast through it, but not a spot I want to be bullish on. If you're in those ish, and whoever requested PLTR, buy the dip into let's see here, into this zone. It's going to draw it red because it's just a fault. Just ignore that for now. But any dips into here, you guys, on this hourly 20. So any trickles into here on this nice cluster here, this top range from Thursday, or even I could move this here, even this little zone here. Why is this a back test of support? I know it's red, but just hang with me here. So it's a back test into this Friday consolidation zone here. So Friday morning we pushed up, a little bit of retrace back up, and then consolidation, boom, breakout. So as a buyer, you want to see a breakout retest of support. So 123.50-ish probably is a good area of support to try and catch that dip if you want to be bullish on this. Again, earnings are tomorrow, but if you want to short a trend or short, at a level, no time like the present, 125.6 all-time highs. So that's the level to watch there on PLTR. All right, Sprouts for Wiz. Good to have you in here, man. SFM. I don't think I've traded this. Let's see. Let's check the daily. Are you in this one, Wiz, or just want some perspective? Ooh, big double top action here I'm seeing for sure. Might be some all-time highs too. So again, we'll start on the daily here just to get them going. Not yet in. Perfect. All right. So immediately top range, kind of like PLTR. Can it go more? Yeah. But where do we not want to be late? Up here. So top range of this box is the top of this wick here. Didn't quite get there on that wick. Bottom of this box is kind of this cluster here. You can see from mid-February, kind of this cluster here where these candle bodies are closing. And where does it line up? Also, it lines up with Thursday's high a day wick right there. And so for me, again, don't love it for calls, but it can go more. Let me get you some levels here though, on how to back test play this. I see a really nice level here. Candle body cluster there, close there, or excuse me, open there, dip down, buy up, sell through trigger, and kind of this level here is kind of what I'm watching. And then top range, definitely gonna get that. Get something here in the middle for you. And now let me zoom into like a 1 hour chart, see if it still makes sense before I give you a trade plan. Yeah, I like these levels quite a bit. So yep, I see the chat rolling, guys. I'll get your requests when I can. Yeah, so Wiz, again, any bounce support here, if you're wanting to play the dip, if you want to be bullish on it. So for me, like clear as day, Thursday, push up to top zone, retrace back into support. Is that support? Absolutely. Bounce the previous high from the week. Buyers said, yo, we're not going to sell down yet. Let's bounce this. They bounced it. What do we do Friday? Part of this action is pre-market. We'll just say this is the open. They slam it down. What they do? Support. What happens? Sellers are failing to make progress on a fall through support. Could you have made puts down into another 73 cent move into 172? Absolutely. But ultimately, if you're looking for a swing trade or a bigger move, it failed. Big buyback up, reclaim of 172.73 again. So Wiz, for me, I would continue to play this dip here. Man, I can't speak tonight. Buy all dips here until this fails. If this fails, don't hold your calls forever, but be mindful of our big bounces of last week, 172. But we slice 172. I gotta believe we're gonna test this support, and this daily 9 is gonna creep up here, and then that's another form of support. Try your dip buy there if you believe in the company. Whatever it is, if you're in shares or anyone watching this that's in shares. But for me, a sell through support, take your puts. A sell through, take your puts with caution, depending on where this daily 9 is. But and then upper range here, okay, you buy the dip. Where do we sell? We trim all these candle body wicks. So many targets in here, so many price targets. They make it easy. Where am I out? I'm out up here for sure. If it's something that expires, I'd say less than 10 trading days, I'm out for sure up here. But you got June, July, August contracts. Yeah, you can hold one, see if this breakout happens, but don't bottom tick this. Hold the entire position. Watch a rejection here, not sell. Come back to, get back half your profits and come back to break even. That's just horrible trading. So not much left on this, not much meat left on the bone, so to speak. It can go higher, but for me, if you want to get long on some leaps, I need a breakout, retest, and a hold for this level. I need this top range to hold, build some consolidation for me to want to, get long and stay long over this zone there. But decent chart to play some dips for sure. Hood, everybody loves Robin Hood. Let's hit it. Damn it, I missed XPX. Sorry about that. I'll come back to that in a second. Hood, let's check the daily. Haven't charted this in a little bit here. I'm just going to pull this for speed of class. If it lets me, there we go. So a little bit of top range rejection, not top like all-time high, but when we see a push, again, I'm on the daily for now. I'll zoom in a second. So we see a push up here, consolidation, smackdowns, breakouts finally, and then this is support. We come back to it, they bounce it. We sell through, and what is it now? This is resistance, resistance. Never made it here. Resistance, resistance. Okay, so this upper range 51. If you're buying down here, you're buying in the mid 40s. You're not selling at 51. You're doing it wrong. You're getting greedy. Like when you see these, big rejections on the daily here. Let me get some more lines for you. But you guys got to play the chart. Don't get greedy because the percent is not big enough for you, whatever you want to call it. You know, like I always say, you guys, every single day, probably every single week in the lecture, you know, trade the chart, not the percent, because you guys get too emotional. Not saying this person requests this, but just in general, when you see these pushes up and you go the daily and you're like, you know it in your bones, it's probably going to reject there, and you don't sell, like that's just bad trading, you guys. And so, get to the 1 hour here. Let's see if we got some more intraday levels here to work with. Definitely love those bounces into there. Middle range price action. Yeah, you betcha right there. All right, we got a good game plan here. You guys love playing hood again. Big push up. That was that pre-market reaction or right at the open after earnings. So post earnings are out of the way. Not sure what the report said, but top range here, and also definitely seeing an upper range here that I'd cautiously, you know, if you want to be long up here, you know, careful up here, because we can see just Friday alone, this little upper range here, this 49.50 to basically 50. When we sell under that, a lot of selling pressure kicks in when they try and break back over that. So what do? We buy the dip, we're trying to buy the dip, or if you're bearish on it, that's fine too. So you guys didn't say in the chat if you want to be bullish or bearish. So here's the plan, what I would do. So resistance is now support, sold under, resistance is now support. For now, this is resistance. So any opens under this 48 to 48.11 pocket here, and we start seeing price action like this, topside wicks. Nothing else really. You know, topside wicks, no candle body closes over our lines here. That's where you take your short, that's where you take your puts, because you know your stop out is small. If they break over this, reclaim this, you're probably going to see price action like this. They're going to bounce it and hold, or reclaim like this. They're going to bounce it, get bullish, take your calls. Take your small sell, your stop out on puts. Don't get married to it. Don't take your puts here and hold up to here. No, take your puts. You know, they break over kind of this 48.32, they're probably going to keep pushing. Get out of your puts, get into some calls, and guess what? You're 20-25% loss on puts, and now you're up 55-60% on calls. You don't even care about that puts loss. So puts here on rejections of 48.11, definitely go hit these ranges down here, sell into this 46.37. Yeah, I'm out for sure, because big bounce possible, big bounce is possible. Okay, any opens or clear breaking over 48.11, I'm bullish, but not mega bullish. I'm not bullish up here to 51. No, there's all these zones in here. That round number, psychological sexy number 50. Yeah. So you catch a dip buy, or you know, we kind of open here, open pre-market, we dip like this. You take your calls. Where do we sell? How about those candles there? How about big support here? We push up more. How about those candles? And then take your runner at 49.50. You guys catch a $1.50 move on your contracts. If you guys know anything about options, Greeks and a delta, like that's a huge, massive payday. You guys quit getting greedy again. And he pushes up to here, start seeing failures. I'll take my shorts, because I expect to see rejections like that. Any questions on hood? Trying to keep up with the chat. Yep, I see requests for Apple. I will get that as soon as I can. You guys going in order. All right. Got lots of requests here. I'm trying to go as quick as I can. Usually it's a pretty quiet night, but we got 30 some people in here, a lot of requests. I love it. So username R Lily. I think that's LLY, right? Let's see what they say. Bullish. Are you in this, or you want to be bullish and looking for a position? Let me know in the chat. I'm paying attention. If you're not in yet, I'll let you know how I would play it. But if you're already in and you're bullish on it, I'll pay attention to that as well. So let me know in the chat if you're still here. You're in it. What price level did you get in it? Let me know. You don't have to say how heavy or contracts. I mean, contracts are helpful. I don't even know how many, but what price level on the chart? Now we can definitely tell you how I would trade it, because I definitely see some upper range action to be watching for into Friday. All right, so you bought this upper cluster here. Looking for potential top range breakout. So best case scenario for you, oops, sorry about that. So I'm on the 1 hour chart here. How I would play this. Anything short, this is anything short dated. If you got leaps, obviously that changes kind of my mindset, but anything short dated, kind of looking here. Yeah, I like this here. Let me get one quick little line here. So a back testing. So if you bought up here, not gonna lie, not gonna sugarcoat. If you bought somewhere, somewhere up here, end of day, whatever you said, Friday, that's fine. So if we open, we believe this candle, like I always say, we open here, you're gonna be hurting a little bit. So if you're in, hopefully on a swing, I tell people not to swing a full position size. If your position size is, 5% of your account or whatever, 2%, hopefully enter half that percent. So, if your intended position size is 500, hopefully you'll enter it at 250. What I would do on this is I would watch, if we trickle into this here, I would watch this price action here at basically 815 flat. So again, you're going to see red, the psychological mindset, it's going to have to kick in. You're going to have some mental toughness. So you took the swing. Now, if we open in here, do you cut because you're red and you cut at support and the chance of bouncing and you're going to be pissed? Or do we cut here at support and we sell down more and you're thankful that you sold? So that's the tricky spot here. If we believe this candle here, we open pre-market because you swung. So the scenario is if you're only in a half position size, I would take an average down here at 815 because you're red, because it's a support. And if this fails, you absolutely have to cut. You cannot hold, you need to cut the full position. But if we bounce that, any push in this 820, 822, and you're gonna be back to break even based on, somewhere if you sold, unless you bought up here at like 829. But if we gap, we kind of hold this level here, we gap and go, I would keep your original position and just try and break Friday high and then go for this 832 up here. But definitely, I don't care what the percent is. I don't care if you're up 30% or 4%. You got to trim here, because if we push up to here to this resistance and we get this kill candle down, you're going to be hating life because you went, break even when you entered the trade, open the day red, went back to break even, a little bit green, and now back deep red. That's the definition of letting green go red. I know, 5 or 6% is not fun, but if you buy here and we don't get the breakout, that's just what the chart says. Hate to say it, but that's what the chart is telling me. 832. And we can see here 832 how much price action, how much that matters. We push up to it on just a couple weeks ago, or not that far, April 22nd. Push up during the market. What did it do? Smack down. Next day, breakout, failed over it, smack down under that. So tricky spot to be long, but breakouts over that can definitely pay. Send me a DM this week if you need some more help. But Caesar's mastermind is officially over, I think, and starting in May. So if not, someone correct me, but I think it's over. 3.0, I don't know when that's going to start. I wouldn't say before 6 months from now. Just guessing. All right. Ish, I'm going to skip Carvana for now. Just want to give everybody at least one request, and I'll circle back if we got time. AMD, man, AMD on Thursday, the easiest short ever at 100. I'm never deleting this line until I'm keeping this line red forever until we break over it. Again, you guys, I talk week after week, psychological numbers. The biggest psychological number probably is 100. It's a nice round number. And people trying to get long on Thursday just got absolutely crushed. Like a round number, when it lines up with, I can zoom out for you just to prove it. It's a huge support, or excuse me, huge resistance right now. Buy all dips, but sell your calls into 100 and take your shorts until it breaks out. I'm short at 100 until it proves that we can break over. Look at all this price action, sell under, we get over. Big moves happen, that's fine. We break over, big moves happen, but selling pressure. So AMD, if you're not already in it, let's go to 30-minute. So again, this is just day trade perspective, you guys, not swings, not leaps. For me, I am a call buyer anytime that 98.75 is reclaimed. So let's say this candle gaps up here, we kind of trickle in. You don't catch the puts at open, that's fine, a little bit risky. We start trickling, sitting on the double bottom here. 98.75, I'm buying calls every single time. A sell under that, selling pressure kicks in. What's it going to do when we sell under? Look at this right here. So a sell to it, breakouts are failing over, topside wicks. What does it do? Sellers full control all the way down. A little bit here, probably would have got stopped out if you're maybe, I'm not gonna say greedy, that's not super greedy, but we'll call it a fake out. A sell down fake out, that's a good intraday puts. You probably got faked out, stopped out. Same thing, Friday, sell down, looks really weak, ultimately buy back up. Let's see what we do tomorrow. So, you know what? I like this setup. Alerts, what's going on? So any break over, again, I'm bullish. Any sell under, I'm bearish on it. Or let's say, scenario number 2, this kind of holds here. We can get puts under this little low here because we look left. And if we sell through this, what are we selling through? We're selling through this cluster here. What happened? We sold through that cluster. Sell down, follow through, leg down, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so definitely be watching there, but we're over this level. Get this guy back green because this is a support zone we're entering hypothetically. Oops. Get a few more days there. So meaning you guys, we see the rejections up here. We're taking our puts. We're in puts. Markets are bearish, bearish, bearish. It's like, okay, we start getting this 97. You better not be holding full positions. You better be down to a runner because bounces can and will probably happen. Topside wicks are going to be support as we come to this 90 to 90, excuse me, 97 and 96 zone. Again, trim, trim, trim. I'm down to a runner here. I'm probably all out here because I'm a super conservative trader. Maybe we hit this, I don't know, but something to watch here. And Tuesday we got earnings. So contracts are going to be expensive. For this, if you want to play AMD earnings, don't play it directly. I would play SOXL. It's a chips ETF that will react because NVIDIA is probably going to react to AMD earnings. And so that's how I would take that. Hopefully it helps, Jonathan. Apple, a couple requests. Let's hit it. Apple longs, I want to open some calls on Apple longs. Looks like a good opportunity. Let's check it out. Breakdown support, rejection, pre-market, sell. All right. Let's go to the 1 hour, get a little information here. What are we buying into to get long here? You know what? I don't hate this little pocket of support here. I can get behind that. Let's see here. All right, just for speed of class, just going to draw some quick little lines here. Trying to see what lines up, what makes sense. Let's look left real quick. Yep, I like that. Yeah, that's too far back. All right. Yeah, definitely. So probably a little too detailed on my breakdowns, you guys, but I'm just doing it so it helps you guys. All right. It's bright, hurts the eyes, I know. Let's just deal with it. So again, you guys, I know they had earnings, but if you're not, if you're not selling, taking puts here, trimming here, taking puts here, taking puts here, taking puts here, but now we're into this big ass support, to me, you're late on puts. It is last week's low. I mean, obviously you got some pre-market action here, but when I see, this cluster here and a breakout and we come into it, even with earnings, and the algos and the computer's kicking in. I'm looking left here, and even with that, the sentiment, algos are kicking in there and saying, you know what, we're not selling through this pocket. We're not selling through 204. Not today, not tomorrow. Next day, pre-market action, what do? They bounce it. Late in the afternoon, sell through. Let me zoom in for you guys here. Even late on the day, people taking puts here at a double bottom. Bad trading, you guys. Buyers are saying, no, we're not giving up 204. So, said you would be bullish on it. I love it. Buy all dips here. If you buy here, you got this, this, it's a small range, but I would call this a little bit consolidation, indecision zone here. So if you're buying, so this is hard to give you trade advice, but if you're buying something 5 days at a time, we'll have to do the math. But if you take an 80-cent hit down to next support, it might be a little bit ugly for you. But if it's May and you take in July, August contracts here at 204, you absolutely hold to see if this bounces. And we consolidate here a little bit. We bounce back up midday. Boom, you're back to break even. It's on. Your original trade plan is back into effect. You absolutely have to hold to see if this little pocket here holds for me. But again, most of us are day traders taking stuff, tomorrow morning it's going to expire in 5 days. I don't know the percent off the top of my head. Yeah, support's given out, but you either cut for a small loss, take your puts, your risky puts down into here, and you take your shot at calls again here on opportunity number 2. Or if you carry your risk and don't have stop losses, like a lot of you, I almost said, a lot of you people in here. If you guys don't have a stop here, you absolutely, if you're not going to sell here in your red, you gotta hold here just to see if this holds. And if we bounce again, reclaim back to original game plan. But again, a sell through this, a market's weak, I'm coloring this red, and now I'm shorting all bounces into here. So we gave out a huge support, a huge demand area, whatever you want to call it. Any sells under here, I'm bearish. Absolutely. Sell down, retest, take your puts because your risk is small. Sell down, boom. Friday's low, target for sure, but we can also look left and get that there. But for me, until support gives way, absolutely get bullish, try to be bullish on this name. But again, don't hold for hope if we sell through this in a really weak market because we just give up a huge support. Don't fight it. iPhone wants TEM. Tempest AI. Just Norvin asking because, ooh, look at that. We charted this and it was a little bit of supply or a little bit of demand action is now supply. It's getting smacked down. That absolutely makes sense. Too much transparency. Absolutely love when we draw stuff and come back to it and it still makes sense. Give everybody confidence what we do. All right. If you're long up here, you're late. Hopefully you're taking trims because smackdown, I'm on the daily here. So game plan on this, you better be trimming up here because if you're in long down here off the daily 200, you're not selling up here. It's either inexperience or bad trading. If it's an experience, that's fine. Hopefully you learn something tonight. But if you're experienced and you're just trading on greed and you get in down here, you don't sell here at this cluster. You sell, you see this big move up to this cluster here and this sell down and potentially gap down. That's just greedy trading. I am not long up here on a new position until we break out, retest, and go. Any consolidations here, I'm definitely not long. Any sells here, I'm short for sure. Absolutely, I'm getting my puts. I don't know how liquid this contract is. But again, play the chart. The chart says you're in your top range, rejection zone, resistance, whatever you want to call it. You should be trimming. Even on shares, you catch a 15-16% move off this daily 200 right here. For shares, 16% is only intended for a share flip and you're not selling at resistance. That's bad trading too. So hopefully if you're in it, you're trimming some. If you're not in it, again, wait for that breakout. Really clear that 50, 58.5 over 59, definitely. Coin. Gap down. Let's see if that holds. Let's see where we are at. Yep, probably seeing some top range rejection action here. Yep. Coming into a lower range support here. Not the worst thing, but when I'm seeing some rejections up here in this upper range, definitely for me, how I trade, I buy calls at support, big supports where big candle reactions are. If you want to get long on this name, this is the spot to do it. Let me zoom in here. So where are we bouncing at? Is it obvious, or do I need to draw it for you guys? I don't mean that in a smart ass way, but big buybacks, big buybacks, big buybacks. If we believe this after hours candle, big buyback. Where are we buying at? Oh, look it, I just looked. 200. What do we know about round psychological numbers, round numbers? 200, 100, 300, 500. Let's see where this opens here. Any opens, iPhone, any opens over 202. It's an open and a reclaim of this little support, this little pocket here. It's a reclaim of our daily 9. I could be bullish here. Kind of a middle range. So kind of top range is up here, bottom range down here, middle somewhere in here. So a middle range, bounce on calls, that's fine. Just, look left, all this stuff here to fight through, chew through. You don't take calls here and go, my target's 209. No, you got all this shit in here to chew through, sell orders, buy orders, whatever it is. You got to push up, on the way up, you got to fight through that. So a lot of targets in here for sure. But if you see that, I'm taking calls. Yeah, take calls off there. Any sell under 202 in the daily 9 moving average, which means, price action kind of like this. I'm looking for a sell down into here, but absolutely, I'm not taking puts at 200. I'm not holding puts at 200. No way. Too big of a support, too big of a recent price action there. Bounces every single time. I cannot hold puts there. iPhone, sorry, that this chat just really sucks. Yeah, the Zoom chat, it's hard to chart and look at the chat and keep track of it. Looking at leaps for TEM, yeah, break out of that upper range I was talking about on leaps. You can do a start position down. I know this is a TM chart, but a starter position, a quarter size or 1/3 size on those leaps on big support, and then we break out of an upper range or a top rejection zone. That should be confidence for investors and buyers. You can add to that leap position for sure. Definitely. All right. All right. I got to scroll back up. Rob's, I think I'm saying that correctly. IONQ. Big old breakout day. Is that earnings? What was that? No, earnings are, wait, was that earnings? Earnings are on this week. Shit. Big old day. It was a big day. All right. We got back tests and lows here, brother. Before I want to get long, you didn't say long, but let's just see. Let's see where this lines up, how it lines up, how we're doing here. Get a bigger line here so I can figure out where the hell I'm at. 30.57. See how far back I gotta go. Oh, down here, 30.57. Perfect. Yeah, that makes sense. Makes sense. We're at a kind of stuttered, petered out a little bit. Kind of consolidated, kind of closed at and around that level there. Makes sense. This is end of February. Yep, I like that. Okay. Present day. Let's figure out a game plan. Any holds at this level, man? Even though I had a big ass day, I'm not ready to short something until it breaks a level or markets are weak or shows me weakness. So any holds at this level here, yeah, take calls, for basically this consolidation is your game plan, is your target. So you're taking calls, again, like I say on almost every chart. This isn't your target up here. Your target is all this stuff in here, rightfully so. A lot of targets to work with. Grab topside wicks, grab candle body closes, grab topside wicks, like trim, trim, trim. You get to Friday's high a day, you better be down to one or fully out. So, and I'll say this to anybody, don't hold full position here because you're greedy, because you had bad losses on the week and you really, really need to make it up. No, you play the chart, trim all the way up, sell all or get down to a runner. We break Friday's high. Now you can start looking this upper range here. Any sells under this level here, what are we going to trigger? We're triggering all this consolidation from Friday. All those buyers that held this, prop this up, what are they doing? They're going to give up if we sell through that. And to move down to here, not seeing it in one day, that probably comes pretty easy, a retrace, which is okay. Big ass day, up, down, that's how the markets move. It's okay to get a little retracement back into here, or we get halfway the next day, we get down in here. That's all right. But we break that basically 30-50. For me, I'm not fighting with calls. Not how I trade, just that's me. Disney, want to be bearish. Let's take a look. Disney, finally, you guys, finally. You guys trying to be bullish at 91, 90.85. Smackdown, smackdown, smackdown. Finally broke out. All right. Resistance, rejecting, doesn't make sense. Why are we rejecting up here? Let's look left. Yeah. All right. Pushed up to 92.85. How far back do we got to go? See if that makes sense. Way back, way back. All right. I like that. I know that shade area didn't line up. I got to go all the way back to September 17th, but that's why you never delete levels, guys. You take calls late on Disney. You're like, why is 91.85 this big level right here? Why are we rejecting? Well, it's an old level here that we're pushing back into. So you mentioned short. I can get behind that. So tomorrow, if you're not already in, zooming back to present day, back here we are. Easy short opportunity, easy short. Well, easy setup. Doesn't mean it's going to work out for us, but let me zoom in just a little more, 30-minute time frame. All right. All right. Basically, I'm watching a repeat of price action like this from Friday. So a little bit after hours buying, that's fine. Pre-market, we start trickling in here. If I start seeing topside wick, topside wick, topside wick here, same thing. Basically, I want to mirror this price action. If I start seeing price action like this, the minute, like literally another good chart or good setup, alert, thank you for this chart. When we sell through 92.85, this is going to trigger. It's going to make me look at it. So with caution, you know, I'm definitely not bullish on a double top from the day, double top range, no way. Breakout over Friday's high, yeah, we can get back bullish on it basically over 90, 93.10. You know, we start looking for 93.50, that's fine. But again, double top action, we start rejecting. With cautions, we can take our puts here. But I say with caution because we have this cluster here, this afternoon cluster actually all day. We pushed up early morning, we kind of held this level here. So when I say with caution, it means we can sell down into here, but what happens when we sell down to this kind of this 92.7? Buyback, buyback, buyback. Three, what am I on the 30-minute time frame? 3 30-minute candles instantly buy back at 92.7. So a better, safer play is for us to sell through this level here, basically like 92.5-ish. So again, take your puts in here, but just know bounces like all this can happen in here. And they may not want to sell it yet, and they may push up really hard, stop you out, and then push. That's fine. That's luck of the draw. So a little bit safer is under Friday's close, this 92.5, because we sell through this, we don't have a ton of recent action, you know, that makes me think they're going to buy it back up once we sell through, you know, this upper range here from the day on Friday. So nice chart, nice setup potential. Let's see where we open. If we open under or gap under 92.5, yeah, short puts for sure. Because a 92.50 put or a 90 put, that is going to pay fast and very nice. All right, hopefully I'm not going too fast, you guys. Just trying to, can't have a 2-hour class when I'm trying to get everybody's requests in. Looks like I'm getting there, all right. Ray, let's check Baba. I don't play this damn thing because it gaps up and down every single day, but you know what? We're gonna look at for you. Damn. All right, we gotta go to the daily. I gotta get you some levels here. Like gap, 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 gap. And it's probably gonna gap again tomorrow. Closed at 125. We're gonna open at 128. Yeah, it's gonna gap. So all right. Ray, let's see. Ray, are you in this? Don't want to call you out. If you're still holding Nando's puts when he said close, you probably should have closed too. But if you're still holding puts, I'll try and help you, my friend, but gotta cut when they say cut. Can't get married to a trade. All right. So quick little levels here on the daily. 1 hour. All right. Definitely bottom range. Buy all dips on Bob at 120. Like tons of volume here. Consolidation. Failed breakout, failed breakout, failed. Finally, if we believe this move, or sorry, excuse me, we do believe the move. Friday, big breakout after hours, and the move held. So buy all dips here at 120. You're kind of in your mid-range, 124-ish zone, and your upper range kind of danger zone here to if you're long, you better be selling 127.7 to 129. Like I'm not holding calls. I'm not starting a call position here. Again, I zoom out. Like, look at what we're pushing up against. What do we do when we get back to an old support? First time we get there, most likely we're gonna get rejection a little bit on there. Maybe we break over, that's fine. But when I see this level here approaching, I'm not taking a call position here. You know, a back test to here, maybe take it, you know, trim up there, sell all. But we start pushing up to here, you don't start a position here because we see this sell down trigger. Okay. You don't want to see this move. You start your puts and we see the same exact action. We get tariff news or whatever it is, or, you know, Powell's on the mic on Wednesday. We push up this on Wednesday and he gets super, you know, bearish. It's like smackdown. So not a place, if you're in it, hopefully if you're in some calls, you took this here and you're trimming some, definitely trimming up here, but not a spot that I want to, you know, take Baba for calls to start out. All right. Bank of America, SPX, and we're probably going to wrap this hog. I think I got one request from everybody. Bank of America, you get some love because it's a small port trade, and I like doing that. 40.6 was a big one for me, and it reclaimed it. So just give it a cute little green line here so we can see where we're at. So I'm going to zoom left. We can see how kind of we push over rejection or push under rejection, consolidation breakout, big buybacks, pre-market sell through it, and it was resistance. Let's see how far back I gotta go. Again, 40.6, 40.6, 40.6. That's all I'm watching this week. Does it hold? Do we get a back test this, Robs? Let's see. Any back test, I think, is a buyable dip. Damn it. There we go. First line of defense, 47.8. I really like these levels. I trust these. I never delete these. Back test to here, calls for sure. Meaning, you know, if we open here, we sell. You don't take your puts. I'm not taking puts here. You either take puts here or you wait for it to break. So first plan of action here for calls. Second plan for calls here, because first, you know, morning consolidation, breakout, retest, support, boom, bounce for calls. Same thing. You want to see a dip down into calls, buyer stepping in. Do they step in? Yes. Get long, stay long. Again, your target is not up here. Your last target's here. Your target is all this stuff in between here. Any sell under 40.78? Sure, let's take the 18-cent move. It'll pay us. Let's take it down in there to puts. But you missed this move here on puts. You missed this move on puts. I'm looking for a back test and some big support on calls. Again, if it makes sense, if the markets just look super, super weak, you know, for me, I'm going to hold off on a call, dip buy. I'm just going to let them sell through support confirmation, take puts, and write it down. Any breakout over Friday's high? Yeah, we can start looking 41.62 this week. 41.22, really nice level to watch as well. I like that level a lot. Okay. SPX, if you're still in here, for those of you guys like to chart it, you know, for accuracy, or you guys like to trade it, here's what we got. For me, not a ton of levels. Again, I trade off some big levels, big areas of interest for me. When I see, you know, sell down, kind of watching the waves of the market, where we kind of wave and moving around this level here. 51.60 is my first area of interest. You know, resistance was resistance, breakout, closed over. So there's now support. So for me, similar situation, you know, similar try on SPY, it follows it, of course. Back tested some levels here. So any back test, you know, let's see where we open on SPX on the markets, but you know, breakout, or excuse me, open over this upper range here. You know, get long, stay long with caution to Friday's high day. We clear Friday's high day. And I think we're gonna push these upper numbers here. It's gonna mess up my charting here, but so any breakout over that, and I think, you know, if there's no, you know, there's no bad news, there's no tariff news, there's no earnings that whack us. I think we're over most of the earnings. I think this daily 200 is our magnet. 57.50. Same thing with SPY, whatever that was on SPY, that daily 200 overhead. That's our magnet. That's going to be the pull. But again, we start seeing a move up here. Going to get ready for that already. You know, danger zone up here to be holding calls. Can we go higher? Yeah, but not start my position there. Any opens under kind of this little cluster here. So we see a push, you know, textbook breakout retest. So breakout, support, breakout. What are we doing? Retesting. Didn't quite get the retest, retest, retest. So if you see this cluster here on Friday and you're seeing the sell into this and you're taking puts here, you're doing it wrong. This is where you take your call position every single time. So an open under that, that is now open under, you know, Friday's afternoon upper range. So bearish, sure, but again, 56.60, I'm not holding puts there. I'm not starting to put position there because I'm expecting, didn't quite get there. A big bounce reaction there. Lines up with that support as well there. Hopefully that helps you on SPX. All right, quick SPY and QQQ recap. If you guys got a jet out or you already seen it, feel free to leave. I appreciate you guys being here. But a quick recap. Right now we got some movement down here, 564. So again, that is my focus. I'll probably put it in my tab as well. As long as we don't gap up huge up or down, I'll have a watch list for you guys tomorrow. But this is my focus here. This pocket, slow consolidation pocket. I'm treating it as support until it's not. So big buyback reaction, support. Resistance there, smack down. We're now over it. So any trickles, pre-market, dips into it, I'm not taking puts here. I'm taking calls with caution, but I'm not going to get married to the trade. We sell through it. Markets are weak, especially a sell through here, 563. You guys taking notes. So basically a $1 range. If you're a scalper, puts and calls in here can definitely pay both ways. But for me, I like to look for extra confirmation. So, you know, I hold the support here. That's my confirmation. Get long, stay long, take the gap fill, take it to 566, take it to all these levels up here. A sell through, and my mindset is scalper's mindset. So take your puts here, but be quick, because a quick move can come down into here and bounce you up and eat those profits away. So a sell through, 563, I'm bearish on the day. Anytime we sell through that, I'm looking at that price action there. Let's see how far back I gotta go. Yeah, it's a bad example there, but you get my point. The sell through support, I'm bearish on the day. Go grab these targets here. Hopefully it makes sense. One last chance for a screenshot. Free levels, you guys that say, what are your SPY levels? I see it in the chat every day. Screenshot them. Those are your big levels. QQQ. I'm bearish on QQQ if this does not hold or open over or reclaim. 47.62. No reclaim there. It's a halfway gap fill. So partial gap fill here. This gap up here is open. It acts as resistance on the way up. So no reclaim at 47.62 means we gave up this afternoon or this morning support here in QQQ, and I think we trigger a sell down. So a retest that level there, failed breakouts, I'm bearish. A sell under, so we kind of trickle in here. A sell under this pre-market low, I'm bearish as well because it lines up with this here. See if I can zoom left. Does it make sense? Anything else? Yep. Sell through there. It's all about long-term, long time frame confirmation, guys. Same thing, same game plan. Failed breakouts, what does it do? Triggers a sell. Breakthrough support, triggers a sell. Breakthrough support, triggers sell. That is my game plan on QQQ. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap this class. I appreciate you guys being here. Trickle off on numbers a little bit. We peaked over 30. I appreciate that. Laurel, Kath, Ish, everybody, Elvis, Dennis, Ambrose, I see you guys. Marcel, see you guys. Appreciate you guys putting the work. Scotty, glad to have you guys here. Let's have a great week, you guys. Check the market. What the hell do we call it? Market news tab. It's under crypto. It is very, very important week, you guys. Swing with caution. Actually, I probably wouldn't be swinging. I'd just be day trading. But appreciate you guys being here. DMs are always open if you guys need help. Let's have a great week and a good rest of your Sunday night. Catch up with you guys tomorrow.